Wouldn't you like to have a body with a good brain focus, with good heart health? Because we also need estrogen. Nature did not provide for women over 50 in menopause to thrive. We have to put ourselves back together again like Humpty Dumpty, fill in all the cracks and support our body. And you need to look at this as a health hobby. Hi, I'm Lori Blue, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I'm here to help you and guide you and empower you to realize that these symptoms that you're suffering in menopause, what they mean, why you're suffering with them, and how you can actually change that so you're not suffering. I'm thriving in menopause at 61, and I don't have the symptoms of menopause because I manage my health and that lifestyle with low carb nutrition and managing stress and adrenal and blood sugar management. And when you do those things, we can have less symptoms of menopause. And so the symptoms might be brain fog, fatigue, exhaustion, anxiety, could be some depression. And when your estrogen levels are low, you end up with more brain fatigue and brain fog. And so one of the things you want to do is actually look at your whole body and how can you support your whole body so that you can actually manage your hormone levels and get to the point where you can detoxify your body, balance the health of your body so that you could replenish your hormones safely. And that's what I do as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. I help my ladies actually have better hormone balance. And what we do is we test, don't guess, so that you have information in front of you to empower you to know what's going on inside your body, to find your hidden healing opportunities and the weight loss blocks, because what's going on in your body can be slowing down weight loss, because weight gain is also a symptom of menopause. And we want to address that as well at the same time, because when your body's working right, then you're actually going to get the natural weight loss that you want so that you could feel good in your body. It's about feeling better, not about suffering. And you can thrive in menopause and you can thrive as a woman over 50, but you need to know what's going on in your body. It's like taking your car in. You need to look under the hood and find out what it is that you can do and address what needs to be addressed. And so working with somebody like me or another practitioner who works with functional nutrition can help you fine tune you and stop the suffering so you can have the better body that you want to have. You can recreate the health that you want to have. But first, you have to address what's going on in your body. And so what is happening is you have low hormones because you're menopause. So estrogen kind of goes away and the adrenals take over to create your hormones. But the back can cause another set of problems. If your adrenals are already burnt out because you've been living in a state of high cortisol levels, you've been running on high blood sugar levels, and you have inflammation in your adrenals may not be working the way you would like them to work. And so then as your body gets to 50, it's been developing dysfunction. You have insulin resistance that's been going on for years. If you've been using the standard American diet, if you've been low-calorie dieting, if you've been not prioritizing protein and fat, then you are probably insulin resistant. That's where the belly fat comes in. We have a lot of visceral fat around our middle, and a lot of that fat gets stored there when we are in an inflammatory state. When we are in menopause, we are more insulin resistant because of the low hormones. Estrogen is gone or very low, and progesterone is no longer in the picture. So we're feeling more tired, more cranky, more depressed. It's not that you need an antidepressant. What we need is more progesterone. And so going to the doctor, sometimes they won't run a hormone panel. And if you're in perimenopause, they don't want to do it. But I went in it as when I was in menopause, they wouldn't run any labs for me back when I had medical insurance. And I don't have medical insurance because they won't do anything for you if they think you're healthy. Excuse me. And since I'm not on any medication, I'm considered healthy. And so at this point, you basically want to look at how you can take care of yourself at home. That is when you create your life as a health hobby and look at life as a health adventure and invest in yourself to get the health that you want to have. And that's what I help my clients do, is invest in themselves by running 3 to 6 diagnostic labs to look under the hood to find out what's going on in the body. This is a very good way to find out what's going on with your body in menopause. And so we could make some ideas or look at, basically your hormones are low when you're in menopause. And if you're having hot flashes, if you're feeling the fatigue, if you're feeling tired all the time and you just don't have the energy to get up and live life, then you want to do something about it because that's no fun. We want to put ourselves back together again, recreate our health, and be thriving in menopause as women over 50. And we can do that, definitely. So this is what's going on in our body is when your hormones are low, you're more insulin resistant. And when you're eating the standard American diet, your blood sugar levels are too high. When you have more inflammation in the body, these symptoms are magnified. When your symptoms of menopause are magnified, you're feeling miserable. So those hot flashes could be mild or they could be raging. And when they're raging, sometimes you'll just break out into a sweat. That's no fun. And those can be minimized. There's some herbs that you could take to help minimize that. But basically what we want to do is run a Dutch test, find out what your hormones are doing, what they look like, so that we could check your adrenals as well and check your cortisol levels. We could look at the detoxification markers. We could find out whether there's any DNA damage, what some organic acids are, and look to see where the imbalances are inside your body at the hormonal level. This is super empowering, and it's going to give us clues and information and find those hidden healing opportunities so we can adjust your hormones and you can start to feel good in your body. The other test that I like to run with this one is your GI map test because those two go hand in hand. You can't run one for hormones without the other, and here's why. When I've looked at my clients' lab works and I looked at the Dutch and the GI map, the Dutch might not give me as much information as I need, where the information might be in the GI map because you also have to look at detoxification. I can't always tell in the Dutch test if the detoxification has been addressed and if you are actually detoxifying your hormones. If you have we all have in our GI tract an estrobolome that has an enzyme called beta-glucuronidase. Is that is activated, that's going to show me, and it's going to give us information that you're not detoxifying your hormones and your estrogen specifically, and that they are getting reabsorbed, and that could make you more estrogen dominant. And if you're more estrogen dominant, you can be having a problem where you just don't feel good in your body. Your progesterone's too low and you're going to have more anxiety and sleep is going to be a problem. And so when those are off, you're just not going to feel good and you're going to have more hormones. So the part of the problem too is when your adrenals are burned out. Because when we get to 50 and start menopause, and you could start menopause early because if your adrenals are burned out, if you've had a high stress, if your cortisol levels have been elevated, you could have menopause in your early 40s at 45. And so that's actually possible. That just means your body is more under stress than somebody who starts menopause later. And so that is where you really want to look at stress reduction, and we need to manage your adrenals. And so we can find out more about what's going on with your adrenals in the Dutch test as well. Your doctor's not going to want to run this. You can get it from a functional doc. That's what they're going to do. This is the test that we rely on for functional health and nutrition, is to find out what's going on with your hormones and how we can support you, the body, the whole body, not just your symptoms. But we need to see the whole picture of what's going on. We're going to look at stress. We're going to look at your adrenals. We're going to look at your cortisol. But I need to run an HTMA, and that is a test that I like to give my clients. And what we're going to do is check to see what your first 4 major minerals are doing. Is your calcium elevated and kind of stuck in the tissues and not being absorbed? Is your magnesium too low, or is it at a loss? How is your salt and potassium? If they're too low, you're going to have adrenal burnout. They could be showing a pattern that is going to let us know if you have a thyroid or adrenal dysfunction. So we want to fix that up. When we're older and suffering with metabolic dysfunction because our blood sugar levels are too high, we have insulin resistance. It comes hand in hand, guys. Your thyroid is going to not function as well. And if you haven't adjusted your diet yet, your thyroid might not be working. And the other side of that is autoimmunity sets in. And when our gut is dysfunctional, when we're not focused on digestion, we are going to have all kinds of problems happening in our body that need to be addressed that are going to affect the symptoms of menopause. And that's why we get frustrated. It might seem like there's a lot to do this. That's why you work with somebody who's going to help manage this and give you quick results in 3 to 6 months so that you can get the information to get into this or get the roadmap back to life, your roadmap to recreate the hormone health that you want to have so you can thrive in menopause. And this is longevity, ladies. This is not just okay, give me a pill or an herb and I'm going to fix my hot flashes. Well, we could do that. But wouldn't you overall like to have a body that's purring and working and revving up correctly the way it wants to work, with good libido, with a good brain focus, with good heart health? Because we also need estrogen for our bones to be healthy so they don't get weak. We want good brain health. You need estrogen for that. And we need muscle, and overall, every receptor in the body needs estrogen. So if estrogen is too low for your body to function, well, what are you going to do? So nature did not provide for women over 50 in menopause to thrive. We have to actually put ourselves back together again, like Humpty Dumpty, fill in all the cracks and support our body. And so you need to look at this as a health hobby. You need to be a sleuth to figure out what to do. And if you don't quite have the knowledge, that's why I'm here, to try to help guide you into the process of what you need to do. And so the first thing that needs to happen is you need to look at, a low-carb nutrition. Because low-carb nutrition is going to give you the nutrients that you need your body to have to correct your nutrient deficiencies like B12, B6, glutathione, your biotin. If you're not getting your B vitamins, your liver is not functioning, your body's not able to maintain itself, you're not able to do what you need to do to get your body to work the way you want it to work. So we need those, and we need a body that is functioning so that they can get to work. And so that means you need to bring in the right nutrients from animal protein and good, healthy, saturated fat, because yes, that is good for you. Now, your liver will make 80% of cholesterol because it is essential, and your brain needs it, and all your hormones run on cholesterol. And so it's not about getting rid of cholesterol out of your diet. It's about managing cholesterol so that it's not inflammatory, so that it's the big, light, fluffy cholesterol, not this small, tiny, dense cholesterol that could get stuck in your arteries. And it's about reducing inflammation, sugar, and oxidation in our bodies so that we have the right amount of cholesterol to support our hormones. And so nutrition is critical so that we can absorb what we need to function. And that comes down to also getting the right digestion and absorbing our food and looking at that gut test along with the hormone test and your HTMA to figure out at the base level what's going on. I like to run a couple more in my 6-month program. I run the fluids IQ permeability test as well as the metabolic panel, because there's so much information that we can get from those to see what's going on with your cortisol levels, with your inflammatory response, with the zonulin, and whether you're reacting to how much you're reacting to the wheat, because everybody's reacting to the wheat. If you already have a thyroid problem, this is going to give us more information to help you manage your metabolism. To manage metabolism, we actually have to lower blood sugar. To lower the blood sugar, you need to be on a low-carb diet to manage your blood sugar response and to lower insulin sensitivity and to get your hormones balanced. And so low-carb nutrition is critical, ladies. Over 50, it's critical because we have low estrogen, and so we are more insulin resistant when we're over 50. And so women in menopause really need to focus on nutrition. I mean, I get it. I've been dieting my whole life, even as a child. I've been on that roller coaster ride and merry-go-round of weight gain and weight loss, and it never sticks. And it doesn't stick because you haven't addressed the lifestyle factors that involve hormones. And those hormones are insulin resistance and blood sugar dysregulation. So insulin needs to be lower for our body to not have insulin resistance and to not be in a state of prediabetes. So when we are in a state of prediabetes or diabetes, we're in an inflammatory state. Those hormones for menopause and the symptoms that you're having are going to be worse and more elevated, and you're going to feel like you're just surviving. I want you to thrive. I want you to have excellent health, not just the normal sick health that people get when they're aging. And they, a lot of the times the aging is considered normal. So like we're 50, we're aging. It's normal to feel uncomfortable, to have dysfunction, to be painful, to have pain every day when we wake up. Well, let me tell you this, that is not normal. You don't have to suffer these symptoms, and you can change this in menopause just as I have. I have changed my life. I've lost 100 pounds. I don't have a lot of symptoms of menopause. If I'm too warm at night, since I don't heat my house, and so my bedroom's cold, and I do have too many blankets on my bed, so I get a little bit heated if I have too many blankets on my bed. But other than that, my feet are not cold. My metabolism is revving correctly. I do not have insulin resistance. My appetite turns off well. My appetite is satiated. I don't have any other symptoms of menopause because what I do is I balance my hormones with my nutrition, and I replenish my hormones with a company called Quicksilver that I get as a practitioner that I help my clients utilize, but I don't recommend them until you've had the GI map test, the Dutch test, and worked with me for 3 months, because I need your body to detoxify correctly to make sure that your estrogen levels are not too elevated, and to help support your adrenals and your cortisol levels so that you are not in a high state of stress, so that you could actually pull on board progesterone, get your DHEA balance so you have better brain health, and then bring on estradiol. Estradiol is natural. It is a bioidentical that you can take as a cream or a gel or a patch. You don't want to take it internally as a pill because it can change in the liver to estrone, which is a more activated estrogen that is not healthy for the body. We want to actually take it as a gel to have it absorb better for our body. And when you get it that way, then you get your body you're going to get a brain that's functioning better and have better heart health. We need that as women who are thriving in the menopause. If we neglect this, then there can be problems. If your adrenals are good and you don't have stress, perhaps you don't have symptoms and you might not need to replenish your hormones. But the thing is, you want to make sure you get a bone density scan. You want to check your heart health, and you want to make sure that you are building muscle in menopause, because that is your longevity factor. This is about longevity. This is about creating 10 to 20 more years of life and thriving as a woman over 50 in menopause. And you can without a lot of symptoms, but you'll have to dial in nutrition, and you need to see what's going on in your body so that we can correct this. And that's what's really nice about running the labs, is we can figure out what's going on in your body and fix you up in a good 6 months so that you can lose 20 pounds. When you actually dial in your carb code and correct nutrition, you can drop 20 pounds. I've already got a client that's worked with me. She started in August. I'm going to tell you about this client that's got amazing results in how she's managing, how she's feeling in her body. She's on some hormone replacement. And I've been helping her with this because she was showing estrogen dominant in her labs, which was not good. So she's just recently stopped using that estrogen when she had started it because she didn't feel good in her body, and she had a lot of symptoms of brain health and anger and other symptoms that she felt needed to be corrected with hormone balance. And so that's what she did. But basically, you want to actually reset your metabolism first, control your blood sugar regulation, and lower insulin response, because that's what's going to then show you what symptoms are actually left over so that you can then look at them and correct them. But now that she's off the estrogen, which is actually a good pause for her because she was estrogen dominant and showing detoxification, sluggishness, and so she needs to address that. And so she's just taken the progesterone, which helps with sleep and anxiety, and she's taken the DHEA, which helps with her brain health. But this is what she told me today, which was so interesting that you want to hear. So this client, she said she was thrilled to death with all of the results that she's having, that she's worked with me. So that's August, September, October, and through November. So that's 4 months. She's thrilled to death with all the results that she's had, with less bloating, less inflammation, and swelling in her body. Cognition is better, feels better overall, and she's already lost 23 pounds, which is a really good reset. And I can see her losing at least 30 before we finish working together, because she's got a lot of inflammation that she's addressing. You could see the oxidation, the inflammation in her lab work, and the estrogen dominance was there, and high levels of cortisol levels, and high histamine levels, which are all correlating to the inflammation and oxidation that is showing in her lab work. What's really interesting with what she told me, because she says she feels better overall than she has in a really long time, and just told somebody and referred somebody else to me because she feels so much better. But this is what's really interesting that you want to hear. She did a weight loss at her business, a weight loss challenge. And the standard challenge is, you eat low calorie, you eat less, you exercise, and they check how much weight you've lost. She said she did that and she won and she lost some fat mass, but she never lost the inflammation, never lost the oxidation, because she tested with me afterwards. And there's a lot of things in her lab work that are hidden healing opportunities that we get to correct and change. And now no bloating, digestion is good, absorption is feels better. Her nails are stronger. She's got more muscle mass. She feels better. Mobility is better. Everything overall in her body is better. She's back to being herself and cognition is better. Can you imagine if you keep on the standard American diet, thinking that just hormone replacement is the plan, and yet you didn't address detoxification, you didn't address the inflammation, the high cortisol levels, and the insulin load on the body? Because when your insulin is high in the body, not only is there oxidation and inflammation, you have got fatty liver and fatty pancreas, and you have and pancreatic insufficiency. All of these things will show on your labs. This gives us hidden healing opportunities to address your frustrating menopause symptoms of fatigue, adrenal burnout, your mineral imbalances, and to get you to the point where you're not just surviving, but you're thriving in menopause, because you can. So you do not have to suffer. You get to take advantage of what's going on in your body and fix it. And this is what I just love about being able to guess and figure out what it is that we can do. But not only that, when you're working with me, you're working with a holistic low-carb method. And as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, I'm also going to educate you. I am a health detective practitioner, lost 100 pounds. So my lived experience of losing my weight, my final 60 pounds in menopause, has given me a unique perspective on weight loss and obesity and menopause, women over 50, and how to put it all together. And my knowledge, experience that I've been learning and studying helps me guide you with these slabs to put your body back together again, fill in all those cracks so you don't have to be Humpty Dumpty and fall off that wall and crash. That's adrenal burnout. And we don't have to, and we can actually recreate the beautiful body we want to live in and have 10 to 20 more years of quality living to be active. Now, the other side of this, if you don't do anything to support your body and you just suffer the symptoms thinking it's normal and it's aging and that's just the way it's going to be, and then you suffer for the next 10 to 20 years instead of having a quality life. What if you can thrive and recreate the beautiful body you want to have? Wouldn't that be a beautiful vision? You do not have to suffer in menopause. I am more active every year. My body is stronger. I'm building muscle. I prioritize protein and fat. And so I love to be able to let you know that as a woman over 50 in menopause, you do not have to suffer. We just have to find out what's going on in your body, get you to reset your metabolism, lower your blood sugar dysregulation, fix blood sugar dysregulation, lower your blood sugar, fix your fatty liver, fix your fatty pancreas, because I've seen it get better in the lab work that my clients, when they rerun their labs, the pancreas is healthier, because that's part of the problem. Your body's sluggish. It's not working the way it's supposed to. You need to be able to digest your food and absorb the nutrients. If you're having nutrient malabsorption, it's not going to happen. If you're having fat and protein malabsorption, you are not absorbing your amino acids and you're not getting your neurotransmitters to work for you. It's not that you need an antidepressant. You're lacking neurotransmitters and protein, and you're lacking progesterone. It supports your bone health, and so does estrogen. So if you don't want to have butter bones and just collapse in your kitchen and fall down and break a bone or a hip, we want to avoid osteoporosis as well. To do that, you need to find out what your mineral balance is, and we need to absorb your calcium. But you can only do that if you're absorbing calcium. Your body may not be absorbing calcium, even if you're putting it in there. And so the HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis test, is going to give us that information. That's why I love testing, not guessing. And when you bring in the holistic low-carb method and create your aging beautiful lifestyle with low-carb nutrition, you're going to be able to absorb your protein, get those neurotransmitters you need, so that when you're out doing something you love, you're going to feel joy again and happiness. Those are all the things that I'm going to support you with. The way I run my program too, as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, to help women over 50, especially in menopause, is I'm going to give you educational resources. I am going to help you understand holistic low-carb diet and the nutrition. I'm also going to help you understand how rest is important, because we're going to follow the DRESS process of FDN, which is diet, rest and sleep, exercise, movement, and circadian balance, as well as the deep dive in stress, which is like 3 sessions. There's so much to it that you need to know and need to understand. When you hang out with like-minded people like me who understand what's going on in our body in menopause and knows how to lose 100 pounds and keep it off permanently, my conviction and my certainty is going to empower you to get this same lifestyle dialed in for you. Now, your lifestyle and your needs and your position in your body and how you want to live your life is going to be different than how I live mine. But what you get to do is create the lifestyle to turn off the inflammation, reset your metabolism, correct your blood sugar. What you get is better brain energy. You have less brain fog. You have less fatigue. Now you've got energy. Now you have less inflammation. And so go to my website at lauriebaloo.com and take a look at my framework. And that's what we're going to be working on. So I'm here for you to help you not suffer in menopause. I have a new recipe book as well. It's called it's called the Holistic Low Carb Method, Recipes for Aging Beautifully for Longevity, because these are the recipes that I started with that helped me get into a low carb diet. And so if you're going to DIY this could be a really good start. It's going to have a little bit of an intro, and it's going to give you some extra pages on inspiration, what to eat and what I eat, and how you can also get to the next step. So hang out with me here on YouTube. Find out what it is that you need. Send me a comment, tag me, let me know that you liked this video, that it was helpful. If you want to get on a health adventure strategy call, DM me, message me, or click the link that's usually going to be in my videos so that I can help you. And I also have a monthly webinar for you to attend. And it's going to be, I have one coming up, but the next one is January. And so if you missed my December 8th one and you just want the recording, let me know you want the recording. Otherwise, I will have a live one again in January. So let me know what it is that you need to solve. And don't be alone. Don't let yourself be alone. I'm here for you. And as women over 50, we need to be the tribe that supports each other. I know what it feels like to have a broken metabolism, to have obesity, to feel depressed. We don't need to stay there. We don't need to live there, but you need to know that you can get out of it and you don't have to suffer. So menopause does not have to be frustrating. It could actually be liberating, and it could be the most exciting time of our life because we get to focus on ourselves and recreate the life that we want to have for longevity. And that can be super exciting, ladies. And please share this if you feel there's anybody could use this information. I appreciate you. All right, you guys have a great, amazing day. Thank you.